Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories,
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya.
Hey, happy campers.
Welcome back to Trail Mix.
We are going to be reading listener-submitted stories. It's our mini episode.
Exactly, and we love to do it. So we have a couple different stories this week. One of mine involves a very embarrassing plane experience.
Catfishing.
A corn dog disaster.
And someone almost getting abducted.
So let's get right into it. This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe. Welcome back to Confession Canoe. This is the segment of the show where people write in their confessions and we read them out loud. But it's always anonymous, so if you have a confession you want to get off your chest, you can go to the campcounselorspodcast.com, go to the write-in tab, and we could read your story on the show, just like this one. So buckle in, you guys.
All right,
this one gave me anxiety.
Oh,
Hey, counselors, I have a little confession for this canoe. Or should I say this carry on? I digress. Let's back it up a little. So my family and I are traveling back east from Arizona. My sisters and I flying together via red eye, and my boyfriend separately earlier the same day. So before all of our trips, my boyfriend helps me pack, aka I lay all my shit out and he packs it up. He's a very type A and organized type of person, versus me, type Z, who throws 29 pairs of underwear in a bag for a 2-day trip. Honey, if you know, you know. First of all, I am very much an overpacker of underwear.
you are.
You never know what could happen.
I will 100% agree. If I'm overpacking something, it's going to be underwear and socks. I feel like they're the smallest anyway.
Exactly. And also it's like, I'm not always anticipating I'm going to shit myself, but sometimes I just want like a fresh pair.
Sometimes it just happens.
Exactly. I want to freshen up and I want to put clean underwear on so I understand where you're coming from, camper. So anyway, I come home from work and my carry-on is packed and ready to go. No thoughts, just grab and go. Love that. First flight is good, no issue. But as we get to our second flight, I leave my carry-on on the runway to get put down below. It was a small-ass plane, so not a lot of room in the overhead bins.
Okay, so it's a carry-on going under. She got the pink tag.
Yeah, I literally hate having to be separated from my carry-on.
I hate it too.
It's not that big of a deal, but when everyone's like, oh, why are you rushing to get on the plane? Like if you have an assigned seat, you have an assigned seat. This is the exact reason why I rush to get to my seat. I don't like jump in front of people, but when it's my group's getting called, I'm there because I want overhead storage, because everyone lately has been like just packing the over carry-ons because I think it's expensive, obviously, you know?
Yeah, but I'm like, how the hell have we not figured that out? Like, don't put too many seats on there if you can't have the overhead storage space.
Well, also, have you noticed that carry-ons are just getting like insanely big?
Honestly, I don't know how my bag is a carry-on. I'm looking at it sometimes, I'm like, damn, this is like a whole ass suitcase.
Yeah, and if you're in a big plane with the 3 seats on both sides, like you're gonna be fine. But we have like rode some of those smaller planes, like the 2-lane ones, and like if you have a plastic, like a big, like I don't know, like a bulky carry-on,
a rolly bitch.
Yeah, a rolly bitch. Like they're not putting that on there.
And you can't even put them like facing you like long ways, because the guy loaded it up, and I was like, he's an asshole. He's putting it sideways. And then I went to go put mine up there. I said, oh, he's putting it sideways because you can't close the little bin if it's going like tight ways.
Yeah, those old planes were not meant for modern technology and the carry-on business.
That plane that we were on also had an ashtray in the bathroom. I'm not kidding.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
I don't like being on a plane that old.
Yeah, me neither. I'm like, has this plane gotten a little checkup, an oil change, a tire rotation? I don't know.
I can't. Okay, back to the story.
Okay.
Everyone is seated on this puddle jumper of a plane and ready to go. That's exactly what they're called. They're puddle jumpers.
Puddle jumper.
All of a sudden, on the loudspeaker, a flight attendant announces, "Passengers, there is a piece of luggage that is vibrating, and we need the owner to come turn it off before taking off."
That's so obnoxious and performative, and something I would do as a flight attendant.
My initial thought, so embarrassing, I hate that for them. But then she goes on to describe the bag. Next thought, that sounds familiar. And my sister goes, oh my God, that's your bag.
Girl, what is vibrating in your bag?
My stomach drops, and I run up there to check it out. Lo and behold, it is my bag. The flight attendant continues to say, yeah, it's vibrating, and you need to turn whatever is in there off. I'm in a panic. rushing to open the bag with a full-ass audience of an airplane, and I finally opened the carry-on. There is a little black bag that is vibrating, wedged between all of my things. I didn't recognize it, and in a panic, I just grabbed it, zipped up the bag, and ran back to my seat.
First, can we just, before you get into like what it is, how embarrassing to have to get down. She's probably on her knees, like squatting down, frantically opening this at the front of the plane where nobody has a choice but to stare.
I know. And also like a carry-on, like you're probably packing it to the brim and then you're trying to like dig for something and it's like, oh, don't let the shirts fall out of the bag. It is embarrassing. So she goes back. She says, hip checking seats with a little black bag in my hand just buzzing away. Once I got past row 2, I instantly regretted not opening the bag at the front of the plane. All eyes on me, and this motherfucking little black bag is nearly vibrating out of my sweaty hands. I wiggle my way back into my window seat, and yes, I was in the second to last row. Not even asking my sister to stand up and let me in, I proceeded to nearly knock her out with my panicking ass. I sit down and take a breath as I open the bag. Turns out it was my boyfriend's motherfucking electric razor. So to all those aboard that American flight to Syracuse, it was a razor and not what you all were thinking, you nasty. XOXO from the chaotic camper who needs to start participating in packing.
That's funny because it's like, I get the panic. Like she just wanted to take the thing that was the situation and go and get out. Like not even telling the sister to get up. Like I am so that person. But then what do? You're sitting down. You're like, everybody thinks there's a vibrator. You stand up again and you go, look, this is what it was, you guys, you sickos.
Yeah.
I swear. And then for the duration of your flight from the East Coast all the way to Arizona, everybody's thinking that you took that black bag.
I know. And as I read it, the entire time I thought it was a vibrator. And I would love to find out that it actually wasn't. Because everyone that was on that plane has probably retold that story being like, this girl's little magic wand was whipping in the bag.
That is so embarrassing. There was one time when you and I were going to Bali. I think we told this story on the podcast. It might have been on Patreon. But when they searched my bag, remember, in this small airport, and they pulled out one of my belongings and were waving it around. And it wasn't even the thing that was setting off the detector. It was my deodorant.
It was an enema. Just say what it was.
It was an enema.
A douche.
It was a douche. Okay.
Okay, well, that was that. Love you.
Get out of the water and onto the dock. You're not going to believe what I just heard. Welcome back to Gossip Doc, the part of the show where we gossip.
That's exactly what it is.
What did we used to say at the beginning of that? I don't even know.
Well, that's what we're saying now. I'm obsessed with that.
Okay, so this writer writes in, counselors Jonathan and Zachariah. So I love my in-laws, but my husband's older sister is truly just straight up dumb. I am so sorry.
Really aggressive, but I love that.
I know. She says, I know that sounds mean, but let me tell you about her love life since 2017 when I met my husband. This girl has been catfished 3 times. Not once, not twice, but thrice. I love that word, thrice.
That's insane to be catfished that many times.
I know. And I have a little comment at the end that I'll make, but we'll get there when we get there. So when my husband and I were talking about getting engaged, she had her first catfish encounter that I knew of, which is so true. It's like God only knows what happened before this girl came through.
Exactly.
She gave this military man stuck in Africa access to her bank account, and they stole over $4,000 from her.
To give bank account information to a man stuck in Africa via email is a tale as old as time.
It's absolutely insane. It's 2017. We have FaceTime. At the very least, if you're going to do something as crazy as that, hop on a FaceTime, babes. Don't do it, but hop on a FaceTime.
Do you remember OG Camp Counselors when that person emailed me?
It was like episode 2 and somebody emailed you that and you responded.
Yeah, and we were going back and forth, but they stopped because they knew that I was fucking with them.
Oh my God, I literally forgot about that.
So I have received a catfishing email, not in a relationship wise, but for like a money wise.
Yeah, and that's happened to me at, I used to work at a university and somebody pretended to be the president of the university and reached out to me as soon as I was new. Those tricksters have to have a roster or something when there's a new email created, and wanted me to go get gift cards and all that shit. Had I not known, I would have went out and got gift cards and like sent it to some rando.
So weird.
But honestly, for your bank account information, babe, do better. Okay.
Do better.
So my husband is such a great person and he cares deeply for those who he loves. So he wanted to postpone our engagement because he felt like he needed to help his sister financially. Now, please hear me out. So sweet of my husband. But at some point, you have to let your 30-year-old sister make her mistakes and and land on her face, which like I get. She's 30 years old. You can't do that, but come on.
Also, it's like if you don't postpone my engagement for your sister's stupidity.
Right, because the money that's going to go towards the wedding, which why are weddings so fucking expensive? That's neither here nor there, but I'm going to have to give it to the sister. Okay, because I'm pretty much sure this wasn't her first time getting catfished and it wasn't her last. Plus, I just wanted to marry the love of my life without his sister holding us back. He was worried he wouldn't be able to afford my ring because of her. No way, Jose, which again, I get. It's like, girl, don't do that. The next guy she sends me a picture of, I say, respectfully, there is no way. There is no way this Zac Efron looking man, and I love the way that this camper wrote it because she wrote it so conversationally. I can tell she's just going on a tangent. She had to let it out. She goes, like, there is no way this Zac Efron looking man, who is apparently also in the military, is talking to my sister-in-law. Now, I've watched every episode of Catfish and I was about to get Neve on this guy. So I started to reverse image searching him. Do you know how to do that?
No, I want to learn.
I did it by accident. You can literally like take an image and if you drag it, if you go to google.com, first ask dad or mom, and then you go to the image tab and you drag the image from like your file or something, it'll drop in there and it'll pull up either the same image or images very similar to it.
Wow.
Great for having to identify flowers.
It's very true.
Yeah, you can identify like anything that you want as long as it's on the internet.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome. I just love to be helpful. So I started reverse image searching him and found this guy's pictures being used on lesbian dating websites. I don't quite understand.
Why is a guy's pictures being used on lesbian dating websites? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. My sister-in-law didn't believe any of us. My husband, their mom, their other sisters, every one of us kept telling her it wasn't real, but she just kept saying, you'll see. Okay, so I'm wondering... what I'm thinking is maybe she's saying that lesbians were using that photo to catfish her. Maybe she's saying it's a lesbian from a lesbian website. I'm talking about the lesbians like it's like some sort of militia. Let me get back to it before I insult our community. So her younger sister gave her 3 months for this guy to show up. Otherwise, she was contacting actual catfish. I love that threat. Well, sure enough, the date came and went and the guy was a no-show. So she wrote into Catfish and they responded.
Thanks, Neve.
They reached out to my sister-in-law, but she told them no. I mean, I get it. I wouldn't want my dirty laundry aired out on national television. So I bring it to my camp counselors and we love you for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do a show like that either.
No, me neither. That's like too much. And it reaches so many like eyes that people are going to be like, oh, you're the person who got catfished.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing.
I got it. With that being said, if anybody who's listening right now has been on the show, let us know.
I would love that.
I know, it's the juicy scoop. I was so ready to give Neve the dirt I dug up on this guy. Eventually, they stop talking and break up. Thank the Lord. Remember how I said there were 3 guys? So she went back on her favorite and clearly most reliable place for guys, the internet, and found, yet again, another freaking catfish more hotter than the last. And his career, military. Classic.
Always a military man for this woman.
It kind of makes sense. It's a great MO. It's like, I'm sorry, I was off base. I couldn't contact you.
It really is. Oh, I'm international. The times I answer are weird. Because you, like, what are you going to say? Like, oh, that doesn't make sense. They're in the military. We don't get it.
Yeah. So. And it's like, even like an ugly person in the military is like, you're still serving this country, so come serve this pussy.
Oh my God.
So time after time, holiday after holiday, she would tell us how excited she was because he was coming to visit all the way from South Carolina. We all knew once again he wasn't coming. That's like sad for this girl, and all the family's like, here goes Lisette. I don't know why I gave her that name, but it was. Here she goes again with another guy who's not going to show up.
I know, but she had to learn for herself.
Poor Lisette. Where was I? Okay. So we all knew once again he wasn't coming, and he never did. I did the same thing with this guy. I searched all his pictures and the information with all the information I had, and it was even easier this time. This guy's pictures were all over the internet, all over Reddit. Even a Facebook group was using it, saying that it was a common catfish picture. Who knew that those existed? That's kind of scary. We showed her all of this, and once again, she didn't believe us. Just wait. He said he's coming and he's gonna bring his birth certificate to prove it. First of all, if he actually shows up, he wouldn't need a birth certificate because we have eyeballs and we can see that he's real.
Yo, what is she talking about with the birth certificate?
It's like having somebody catfish you, and that, like, she's not clearly not even thinking clearly, because she's like, he's gonna prove it. He told me he has a birth certificate. So he's just saying words to make it sound legitimized.
And she's in the trap.
100%, the catfish trap. But he's never gonna come anyways because he's not freaking real. So where is she today? She's still talking to this same guy. She hasn't given up hope, even though she knows he's not real. I don't think she knows. I think maybe deep down she does, but she's just really hoping for something out of it. Honestly, it's just sad. She's in her 30s and wants a family so bad, but won't get off the freaking internet and won't stop getting catfished. The girl is doomed. Pray for her. Pray for all of us that we don't lose our sanity. At this point, we've tried to help. I wipe my hands of it. Signed, the catfish catching camper in cabin 23.
Yeah, sad, because obviously, like, she's going through it, and like there's something up with people that are like serial catfish people, you know? Like, how does this keep happening to you? I don't know.
It is sad because it's like everybody just wants to be loved. It's human nature, you know? We all just want to be loved. So she's kind of just being blind to the facts that he's not real.
Oh, what can you do?
You can walk a horse to water, but you can't get them to delete their dating apps.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories Around the Campfire, campers. We have 2 this week. So I'm going to start off by reading your embarrassing / scary stories. Okay. Dear Shady Birch counselors, I think you both are the type who can relate when I say the only reason I give a damn about a fair is strictly for the fact that I'll be ordering a corn dog. I think about it the entire week leading up to the fair weekend. My husband loves corn dogs just as much as I do, which is a perfect example of why we're meant for each other. But our latest corn dog adventure is one for the Camp Library Archives.
I love that.
I love calling this collection of just complete mess an archive.
Yeah.
It really heightens the experience here. As we made our way over to the park bench, I was in charge of double fisting it with our sodas and massive corn dogs, of which were placed in cheap paper baskets with ketchup, mustard, and honey drizzled all over. The place was packed with people, and yet I feel like everyone had their eyes on us as we entered the vicinity. We stepped off the sidewalk into a grassy area, but what I was not anticipating was a dip in the grass as I stepped off the concrete. What I thought would be a minor stumble slowly evolved into a full-on biff, and then morphed into a horrendously awful, falling on my face, corn dogs flying in the air and landing beside me moment. The world around me stood still as I yelled, "Babe!" in corn dog agony. With ketchup and mustard on my face and hands, I was practically Rebel Wilson, dripping in chunk burrito and pitch perfect.
Oh my God, I can literally see it in my mind's eye. And that is so embarrassing. It's like, I don't even care if I rolled my ankle, if I got seriously injured. I just want everybody to look away. I don't want a single eye on me.
I know, and she's covered in ketchup. The corn dogs are in the dirt. She's on the ground, like ass over tea kettle, like a mess.
Ass over tea kettle.
You never heard that expression?
I never heard of that.
Yeah. Can someone relate to that? I think that's an expression.
I think I'm going to, okay, campers, your duty today is to find somewhere to use that and use that before before EOD.
All right. So the worst part of this whole thing had nothing to do with me. It had to do with the woman laying in the grass 3 feet away. You see, counselors, my husband and I are the kind of couple that would laugh at each other in this type of situation, but not with this woman assessing nearby. "Don't worry, that happened to me too," she said with a 44-ounce soda in her hand, as I got up slowly with my husband trying to figure out how the hell I made such a tumultuous tumble. She just kept commenting and commenting and commenting, like she was the announcer narrating me through the situation. Had my husband been able to get a word in edgewise, he would have been able to make fun of my biggest fail of the summer as he helped me up. But instead, we listened to, "Yep, definitely a dip there. It's getting a lot of people. but you can still eat those corn dogs. Just dust off the grass and they'll be okay. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm literally like scabbed, bruised, bleeding, corn dogs in the dirt, and you're like, you can eat those. I know you can. They're fine. Blow them off, you know?
And it's also like, you just don't want anybody to acknowledge your existence. What are you going to do? Like, you just have to sit there and be polite and nod and say, yeah, thank you. And right when you think she's done, she keeps going.
Well, she says it starts getting so awkward that I felt I couldn't make my own decisions without her chiming in. This woman had me damned if I did, damned if I didn't. I looked at the trash can that was a few feet away from me where I fell, thinking of all the shoes that had walked by through this area. I looked at my husband. Baby, toss them. The woman gave a loud, "Aww," as we all heard the corn dogs drop into the trash can.
Okay, wait, would you eat them or no?
No, the dusty... Fairs are always really dusty and dirty.
And there's probably, in my head, a cow somewhere. So there's probably like cow pies people stepped in.
You need to understand that. I know you've never been to a fair, but the cows are not in the same... They're not walking around with the other people.
No, I know, but somebody probably went into the petting zoo.
Yeah, oh my God. This is dirty. This is not like holy ground here.
Yeah.
As we walked away, I almost felt like I needed to thank her for I don't even know what, making me feel like I owed her something when I was the one in corn dog shambles. Luckily, my husband has a way with words and swayed the corn dog truck to give us a free one.
Oh, that's nice.
So a note to all campers. If you see someone struggling with transporting their corn dogs from the cafeteria to the picnic tables near the tennis courts, mind your own damn business. They're embarrassed enough. With love from Cabin 11, no hall monitors allowed. I hate when people like assert themselves into a situation that they're not a part of with their commentary.
And it's like embarrassing enough that you fell, and now we just have to sit here and go through this woman's conversation. One-sided, mind you.
I like when she's like, should I thank her? Like, I don't. She's a part of this now.
Yeah, I think you just end it by shrugging and being like, enjoy, like maybe mention something she's eating. Enjoy your pretzel. Enjoy your corn dog.
As she wipes the mustard off the front of her shirt.
Ew, or like off the side of her shoe. Clearly, I feel like she would be okay with that.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Okay, well, thank you for writing in, Camper. I think that was fun and cute.
I loved it.
Yeah, it wasn't like poop related, which most of these are. This one.
Is it poop related?
No, it's scary.
Read it.
Okay, so this one's a little bit old, guys. We did have it marked months ago, but it just ended up, in the mess of things. So this is written to us February 15th, 2023.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was actually written the day after episode 23 came out. So that was the cruise story when we just got back from the cruise and we were talking about everything that had happened on it. So
it was also 3 days before your birthday.
Oh my God, you're right. Look at that.
A birthday treat.
A birthday treat. Okay. Oh my God, back in my 20s. This was written back when I was in my 20s.
Oh, now you're in your 30s, you old creep.
Yes, I am, bitch. Hi, waving emoji. So I don't know if this would even fit in the pod anywhere, but I had to share with you guys what happened to me today. I go for a little afternoon walk almost every day. Same 30-minute loop every day. Today, I was especially excited for my walk because Camp Counselors comes out and it's so happy and fun. I love getting through chunks of new episodes throughout the week. I do that a lot when I'm listening to a podcast. I just will listen to chunks here and there and it takes me 2 days to get through an episode. So I'm almost through with my walk, oohing and eyeing about the cruise ship when I hit a T in the road.
Okay.
There's a car there that waves me along, and I'm just thinking, how sweet. Nothing can break my spirits today. Well, that was short-lived. I realize I didn't see this car pass me after a while, so I look back and see him watching me from the intersection, not moving. That's sketchy.
Horrifying.
I'm sketched out at this point, so I take off a headphone and survey the area. That is what you need to do. If something's weird or off, you can't have both headphones in. You just can't.
Not while we're and the cruise was so fun and we were so drunk and girl, prioritize.
I know, and we're probably screaming in your ear, let's be in a safe area, okay? I'm sketched out at this point, so I take my headphones out and survey the area. No one around me, there was no one around for me to run to, and I'm still about a block away from my apartment complex entrance. I continue walking as fast as I can, and slowly the car starts to follow me, never passing my pace and close enough that I can't see his license plate on either side. Oh my God, that's creepy. So he's like creeping up next to her, pretty much going the same pace. He finally opens his window and prompts me with the question, "Where are you going? Are you staying on this road for long? You should hop in. No worries, just get in the car." Absolutely not. I take off running into my complex and he peels away as another car comes up. I ran to my apartment to call the police, but they can't really do anything because it, quote, wasn't illegal. But obviously this man had no good intentions. That's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
The worst part of the whole thing was this gross man stole the happiest, most relaxing part of my day. And I will be terrified to walk alone. I mean, that's like the biggest thing. She was 1 block away from her apartment complex.
Thank God.
All this happened while Jonathan is in the back talking about his new daughter, Lily, on the zip line with her tattoo. Anyway, it was legit insane. And if there's any other campers out there that like to stroll with a podcast, just take some time to survey the area, maybe pop out a headphone and be aware because there are so many scary men out there. Love you guys. Signed, Nervous Nelly in Cabin 9.
Definitely nerve-wracking. You got to be safe. And that guy had no good intentions.
No,
clearly.
he didn't. It's scary and it's fucked up that people have to, like, women specifically, have to worry about that on a simple walk around the block.
I know.
So that was it for our episode today.
So stay safe. Keep your corn dogs out of the grass. Don't put a vibrator in your carry-on.
Yeah, don't get catfished and just pop a headphone out when you can, okay, campers? If you want us to read your story, send it in to campcounselorspodcast.com. Click the write-in tab and you can send it our way.
We love that. And with that being said,
Lights out, campers.